KATC Weather Lab. Here's Rob's forecast.
Welcome back. Well, a busy day in the weather world once again with Tropical Storm Florence. Catastrophic issues there. Back to the south and west, that disturbance producing flooding rains across portions of South Texas where very heavy rainfall has occurred. Meanwhile, locally some storms here. We'll get to those in just a bit, but just wanted to show you this 48-hour loop of once Hurricane Florence, now Tropical Storm Florence, and look across North Carolina. These rain bands, training rain bands, continue to move over areas that have seen rainfall in some areas in excess of 2 feet and more on the way. Catastrophic flooding ongoing and more likely on the way. Another 10 to 15 inches of rain for our friends over there through the next 48 hours. Meanwhile, locally, we've had some storms firing up after a blistering hot day. 96 the high in Lafayette. Our heat index got as high as 108, maybe even a degree or two hotter in spots. And after that high heating, as expected, late afternoon showers and storms, strongest of which have been over the western parishes and southern parishes. The cell mainly in the coastal marsh, producing a lot of cloud to ground lightning though, and gusty winds up to 40 to 45, maybe 50 in spots. A lot of positive lightning strikes here. That usually means strong up and down winds, maybe even some small hail. And we're also seeing that with the cell that's by the Delcombe-Erath area late this afternoon. It's dropping to the south and west. A fair bit of cloud to ground lightning concentrated just north of Erath right now, and in this area of magenta, maybe some pea-sized hail. So got to keep an eye on these cells, but not expecting a big severe weather threat, but nonetheless some strong summer thunderstorms impacting the area late this afternoon. Might see a few tomorrow, but I think we actually see fewer tomorrow afternoon. You can see all the action down across Texas and Mexico with that tropical disturbance that moved inland. Then we have the remnants of Isaac. That's the other news of the day. And then still tracking, well, we'll call it 3 tropical systems: Tropical Storm Florence, Tropical Storm Helene, and Joyce. Helene will eventually impact the UK. Joyce is just going to die in the open Atlantic. This disturbance here has a very low chance of developing, and Isaac's remnants about 20%. We'll get more to Isaac in just a bit. In the enhanced satellite imagery, you can see these big cells just offshore. Hopefully they don't work their way inland, but it's going to be very rough for North Carolina, particularly over the next 24 hours. The center of circulation west of Myrtle Beach right now, drifting slowly to the west at only 2 miles an hour. Meanwhile, we go down into the Caribbean Sea, and earlier today, Isaac was downgraded from a tropical storm to a tropical wave, and that's all we're going to call it right now. We'll continue to watch the remnants of this system, but at this point, there's not going to be much regeneration. In fact, we lost the remnant information on this, but we'll plot the tropical models anyway. This is Isaac, and again, the National Hurricane Center is not giving much of a chance, only a 20% chance of redevelopment, and none of the models show any kind of regeneration. So we're not going to be concerned with this system, but we'll track the moisture. As we take a look at the European model, you can see the moisture left over from Isaac here through early next week. Notice here's Florence getting caught up in a frontal boundary, and then as we go down the road, tail end of that frontal boundary may spark off another tropical system off the east coast, or the leftovers of Florence. Meanwhile, the remnants of Isaac look to go mainly down towards Central America and Mexico. And locally, we're not seeing much in the way of spikes in our rain chances, maybe even a little bit drier toward next weekend and beyond. But today, we talked about it yesterday, maybe a front. Today, no definitive front, so we're going to have to wait a while longer before we see any fronts on the horizon the way it looks right now. Quiet later on this evening, storms ongoing, fall apart at right around 7 o'clock. Then tomorrow, much the same, mostly sunny early. Scattered thunderstorms in the afternoon. Rain chance, though, I think closer to 30% tomorrow, and that might be generous, and much the same as we head into Monday as well. Temperatures mid-90s again for a high tomorrow, and with that humidity, once again, that heat index pushing up to 105 tomorrow afternoon, so very uncomfortable indeed. So showers diminishing early, 76 the low for tonight. Rain chances going down to 10% or less later on tonight. Then for tomorrow, we'll see another steamy day. Temperatures reach the mid-90s with that heat index up to 105 or so. Very light north winds, if any at all, so that doesn't help as well. And as we go through the next 5 days, it looks like high summer heat, even though it's the last full full week of summer. And then going into next weekend, we took away that front. At least the temperatures may not be quite so hot next weekend. Closer to 90, which is still about 2 or 3 degrees above normal.
Yeah, definitely ready for